This video gives an overview to the contributions of Giuseppe Verdi and Richard Wagner to opera of the second half of the 19th century. Make sure that you also read about music of both composers in your favorite music history textbook. 19th century opera was dominated by Italian styles and forms, much like it had been since the 17th century. Italian opera composer Giacomo Rossini rivaled even Beethoven in popularity. By the 1820s, however, other national schools were becoming more influential. Carl Maria von Weber's German operas enhanced the role of the orchestra in opera, whereas French grand opera by Meyerbeer and others was marked by the use of large choruses and elaborate sets. Giuseppe Verdi succeeded Rossini as the most important Italian opera composer of his day. At this time of national revolution, Verdi's music and name became associated with those fighting for an Italy to be united under King Emmanuel. Like Rossini's music, Verdi's music used recitatives and arias, now arranged in the elaborate scena ad aria format, with an aria that contained both slower cantabile and faster cabaletta. Verdi, however, was very flexible in his use of recitatives and arias, and he used much larger orchestras than previous Italian opera composers had used. This resulted in operas which were as dramatic as they were musical. Verdi's operas span a wide variety of subjects, from the always popular mythology and ancient history to works set in his present tense that participated in a wider artistic movement called realism or verismo. Richard Wagner may well have been the most influential European composer of the second half of the 19th century. Never shy about self-promotion, Wagner himself clearly thought so. In actuality, Wagner's influence was both musical and literary. Wagner's employment of the Tristan chord in his music drama Tristan und Isolde shaped the harmonic experiments of even the French, whose music belies their many verbal denouncements of Wagner and his music. Wagner's essays about music and autobiographical accounts of his musical experiences were widely followed by 19th century individuals, from the average bourgeois music enthusiast to philosophers such as Friedrich Nietzsche. Most disturbingly, Wagner was rabidly anti-Semitic, and generations later his writings and music provided propaganda for the Nazi Third Reich. Wagner criticized Italian opera as consisting of cheap melodies and insipid orchestration divorced from its dramatic purposes. Wagner set about providing a German alternative. He called his operas music dramas to place emphasis on unity of text, music, and action, and he declared that they would be Gesamtkunstwerke, or complete works of art. As part of his program, Wagner wrote his own librettos and aimed for what he called unending melody. He wanted music that was constantly lyrical, with the melody carried as much by the orchestra as by the singers. Perhaps most importantly, Wagner derived a system of leitmotifs, recurring musical ideas that were connected to a person, event, or idea of the drama. Wagner also designed and built a theater for the performance of his own music dramas. The Festival Theater in Bayreuth, Germany was the first to use a sunken orchestra pit, and its huge backstage area allowed for some of the most elaborate sets of the day. It was here that Wagner's famous Ring of the Nibelungen was performed starting in 1876. At this point, I'd encourage you to listen to and watch scenes from this and other works by Wagner and Verdi before moving on with other videos. Many excerpts from these works are available with English subtitles via YouTube. This concludes the video on Verdi and Wagner.